Joining us now, my good friend Sinder. Lord, how long, Cinder? Because I can't introduce you no other way except my good friend. How are you?
You're
And
my
welcome back.
you're my media
And
sibling.
wait a minute, let me get you on the camera here. Jazz, wait a minute before you do that. To get on the camera. So, how are you?
I'm excellent, sir. How are you? Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's an
Please,
honor and a privilege
please.
to
I
be
call you
here.
the innovator. You the innovator. You just should have on a Wonder Woman suit with I right
I
there that
love
says
it.
innovator.
I
So,
love it. Okay.
how you been?
I've been excellent,
What
busy,
you been busy?
challenged, which is good.
Yeah. What's going on? Tell me what's going on with you. But first of all, explain to everybody who you are and what you do, because I'll sit up here and tell the whole story. You'll be like,
Oh
"You
my
want me to talk?"
gosh. I know. Gerard, first of all, I think of you as my media sibling.
Yep,
Media
that's
brother.
about right. Because
Yes,
we were,
yes.
but how far back?
Well,
20, 25 years?
yeah, absolutely. When I first came to the city,
Yep.
we connected, and you were a mentor at the time, and I just never forgot you. Whenever I need you, you're always there.
And that's a telephone call.
Yes,
That's all it takes.
just a text message.
So you have, and I'm okay. So I'm gonna go back through this again.
Hmm.
I call you innovator because no, after you left the radio station, because for anybody that does not know, we were together over at Clear Channel.
Clear channel.
And when you left Clear Channel, I had the opportunity because I would think I had gone too from Clear Channel, but I also had the opportunity to see what you were doing.
Hmm.
And you were in Gretna at the point in time doing something I thought was innovative, and that was an
Adult day health care.
day health care.
Yes.
And I saw those men and women as they were coming into the building, and their usually their children
Hmm.
were
Caregivers.
care. Yeah, we call them caregivers, but they were the ones that brought them in
Hmm.
and said, "Look, I got to go to work."
Gotta go.
And you took care of them. You and your staff took care of them, and I thought that was innovative because I
Ah,
hadn't seen anything
yes.
for Black people.
Yes.
Because the majority of your folks were African American
The
men and women,
majority. Yes.
and I had not seen them in that type of setting before, and they were happy.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And I was like, "This is going to end up being huge."
Hmm.
And then I think later on, you moved to another building.
Hmm. We opened a second location.
That's what it was?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, okay, Cinder owned to something. And I was like, this is going to be huge. But I
Mhm.
lost track.
Yes.
And then you told me something else last time we talked, that you kind of moved to something else.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
moved it.
Yes, same demographic,
Hmm.
but we moved into primary care,
Okay.
working with seniors in the community and
Hmm.
developing opportunities, recreational opportunities, as well as marketing for Gen Care, which
Hmm.
is ChinMed.
Hmm.
So, yes, we did.
How important is it in today's society that adult care, health care, um, is it leveled out? Do we need to do more of it? It seems to be a undergirth. It's not really talked about as much,
Right.
is it?
It's so prominent. It's so important. Right now, we have millions because, of course, now we've moved into the era of the baby boomers.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone is aging, everyone is getting older.
Mm-hmm.
In about 25 years, almost half of our population will be 55 and older.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So there's not really enough care when you ask, are we doing enough? We're not doing enough.
No.
We're not doing enough, and we're not making it easy enough for others who want to get into
Mm-hmm.
the business or
Mm-hmm.
to do the work to do it. So there's a lot of red tape involved. So if you see anyone with a long-term care program of any kind, it's to be celebrated because the state doesn't make it easy to do.
Why? But what is it? Because it's interesting to me now. This is something that I don't think that all of us should talk about. But I'm looking around and saying to myself that it's interesting that when we start learning the business,
Hmm.
when we start opening up our own business instead of working for maybe those other companies,
Hmm.
it seems to be.
Yeah, it's a task because there's money involved. It's expensive. It's
Mhm.
expensive to run any type of a healthcare organization.
And then
As
you
we
got
know.
them people looking at you.
Then you got people. You have surveys. You have all the regulations that are involved, and so it takes a lot The investment is so big. We had to invest, my husband and I, our retirement
Mm-hmm.
into opening up our business. And then you have the state and you have the local government. So there's a lot, and it's easier for a regular individual like ourselves to just go get a job, go just work for an organization,
Right.
versus investing and building your own long-term care, business or organization.
That got to be a lot of red tape, though.
It's a lot.
It's
It's a lot. It's a lot. You have to be
like,
almost. I mean, my thing. When I left the station, it was
this
do or
sounding
die.
like counseling right now. This sounds like.
I know.
Go ahead. I'm just playing.
We invested retirement, but for me, it was such a passion. I had to do it. It was a do or die.
Mm-hmm.
Do or die. And doors opened because of the favor that I believe in, the favor of God. Doors began to open, and we started with zero. It was just me in an empty building with a desk. Gerod.
Wow.
But over the 15 years, we had taken care of hundreds of families, of caregivers. And the reason I say families is because for every senior you care for, there's a family attached.
Right.
There's a caregiver. Right now, there are 56 million caregivers in the United States. 60% of those family caregivers are unpaid.
Mm.
That's the situation where we are now. Unpaid caregivers. And thusly, it's the reason why we developed the nonprofit Care Therapy, so that we can assist these family caregivers in receiving the resources that they need, starting with mental health. Mental health is really big right now. Our mental illness,
right?
Is really big right now. Self-care. Those are the things that we address with our nonprofit.
So a lot of the conversations, and listen, I want to make sure I clarify this to everybody, because I am not a caregiver. I don't know nothing about this, and I'm asking questions. I might repeat something I heard.
Okay.
So correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't have no letters behind my name with PhD, ABC, MD, none of that. All right.
Okay.
So I'm hearing though that a lot of the caregivers that may be giving care to a loved one, whether it's their mother, their grandmother, grandfather, whoever, that they are now stating that it's hard to deal with that elderly person because there is signs, or there's a lot of signs of dementia. Is that more prominent now, dementia?
Dementia is. Let me allude to what you said, that you have not been a caregiver. The thing about caregiving is either you've been one, you're going to be one, or you're going to need one. So we all need to learn. Okay. And then when you're speaking of dementia, yes, especially in our population, African American is high. Like most chronic illnesses, it fall upon us because of our poor healthcare, poor nutrition. We're learning now that dementia has a lot to do, not necessarily with our genes or because our mother or grandmother had it, but because of lifestyle. It's lifestyle. And one of the things that we're doing with our nonprofit, we're connecting and partnering with a place called Zion. And what they do, they specifically deal with dementia and Alzheimer issues. Okay. And so that's another, component that we've been talking about at our workshops, and how to prevent it, how to slow it down, the progression of it. And going back to adult daycare, that's one of the most valuable tools that can slow the progression of the illness, is adult daycare and other center-based activities for seniors, because they're not at home by themselves.
Okay.
They're not isolated. They're in community with others. They're making friends and recreation, and then they have someone that's constantly looking after them, making sure they're getting the proper exercise and the proper, nutrition that they need. So yes, it is. Dementia is big in our community, but we're finding ways to slow the progression of it.
It is being slowed.
It's slowing.
It's slowing a little bit.
But then the other thing is, the reality is that it exists as we get older. So caregivers, again, going back to caregivers, need to know how to deal with it. How do you deal with a loved one? It's a scary process.
So this is going to end up being a teaching moment.
This is a teaching moment
for caregivers.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's a frightening thing for the caregiver when mom is now the child and the child is now the mom.
Ain't that something?
That's hard because somewhere in mom, she still knows I'm the mother.
Mm-hmm.
But now the daughter or the son or the caregiver has to make decisions.
You're not going to be
for
the
mama.
boss of me.
Absolutely.
You're not
It's a
going to be
fight.
the boss of me. It's a fight.
It's a fight.
Yeah.
It's a fight. And it's hard on the caregivers. 34% of caregivers pass away before the ones they're taking care of.
Really?
That's the stress. That's the depression. They're not taking
Wait a
care
minute.
of
The caregivers pass away before?
Pass away. Yes, sir. 34%. That's a big number, right?
Yeah, that's pretty big.
That's a big number.
But let me ask this too: are there ways, because somebody that is a caregiver, this is a concern for I know a lot of people that end up being caregivers. They make sacrifices. Those sacrifices might even include giving up a job, staying home all day, even changing your social life. I can't be out with my friends. I can't go out to bingo. I can't do this because I got to take care of you.
Absolutely.
And they make that sacrifice. But one of the questions I had with caregivers was, are there ways that those folks that are caregivers can file some type of paperwork, be something to the government or something, and say, hey, I'm taking care of this person. I'd like for somebody to pay me, Medicare, Medicaid, somebody or something to be able to pay me. Is there a way to do that?
There are ways. There are programs, and that's what I do as a consultant. If the audience will get in contact with me, I can connect them or assist them in those ways that they can now. You have to qualify for this. Okay,
really?
Certain things you have to do.
Okay.
You have to know what to do. I know what to do. So connect with me. I'll help you. I know what to do. I will help you.
I wish you could have seen just how you just perked up because you're now talking with Dave.
I know what to do.
You've been doing this so long.
I pride myself.
Look, I'll be the first one to say that, I'm an advocate for Sinder.
Thank you.
Because I know you know what to do. Because you've been doing this for a long time now.
Long time.
But it's surprising to me to hear those folks that are caregivers that have no clue that they could be in a different bracket to be able to receive some type of funds and shouldn't be in a broke position that, you don't have a choice. You got to take care of this person. It's your mama, it's your grandmama, it's your granddaddy, it's your daddy, whoever, sister, brother. And you just sitting around wondering how you're going to keep the lights on.
Are you going to keep them on? First of all, we salute and we honor caregivers because the sacrifice is so tremendous. They many times they do have to leave their occupation and their job to stay in the home to take care of a loved one. That in itself is great. When they do this, of course, the income, there's a decline in the income. So now you may be living off of mom's Social Security check and a little more or nothing else. So there's a lifestyle change. Then there's also, you mentioned it yourself, isolation. They're removed from their community. They're removed from the workplace. They're removed from their family or their home or their church because they're solely caring for that loved one. Sometimes there's trauma within the family. I've seen one mother to have 10 children, and out of 10 children, you may have one caregiver, one or two caregivers. So 10 children can't take care of one mother, but one mother took care of 10 children. And so then you have challenges within the family because someone's always not going to agree with the decisions that the caregiver who made the sacrifices. You understand? So it's huge. It's huge. But one of the things we're doing this Saturday, we partnering with USDA, and they have, this is a help, $10,000 grant for caregivers to help them with repairs or renovations on their home. Some seniors need, to have their bathrooms renovated because now, as we're getting older, people are not wanting to go into nursing homes. They're choosing to age in place.
Right.
Age in place. But in order to age in place, you have to have ramps. You have to have appropriate bathrooms.
I gotta be able to hold on.
You gotta hold on.
I need
or you
that
gotta
now,
fall
Sinder.
and can't get up.
I need that now. Hold on, baby. Hold on.
So monies are available for that, and we're going to have those applications and help the caregivers and seniors this Saturday to fill that paperwork out, amongst so many other things we're going to be doing.
I tell you what. Let's open up the telephone lines too, just in case folks have questions, because I know that this is important.
So important.
And I know that we also have that age category. And listen, this ain't that nobody need to be shameful about.
No.
You know, these are lifestyles that, you know, you lived your good life and you still living a good life, but you need some help.
Right.
And if you have questions, we bring in the people to the table that can answer those questions, give you some information. And she talking about some money that you may be able to get. 504-582-9422. We'll take the break here. We'll come back, have more conversation in just a minute, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Awesome.
Where you at, everybody? Join us on the front porch. I'm your host, Graylin Bryant Banks.
And it's your girl, Kimber White Free. What's up, y'all?
Join us every Monday for Movie Monday.
And Tuesday is Trivia Tuesday.
And you know it's them bad churn every Wednesday.
And on Thursday, we like to travel.
And it's Free Your Mind Friday, so get your brass up.
Yes, if something's on your mind, let it off.
Join us every day right here on the front porch, WBOK, 1230 a.m., the station you listen to all day long.
A message from the community scientist. Do you live or work in St. James, St. John, St. Charles, Ascension, Calcasieu, Baton Rouge, or St. Bernard parishes? If so, it's important for you to understand objective information about 1,3-butadiene, volatile organic compounds, methane, and mercury, and how they impact your health and the natural environment. The Community Scientist is a service program of Rise St. James. Learn more at risestjames.org.
Hey New Orleans, ready for a great new career? Then you need to check out New Orleans & Company's Hospitality and Tourism Industry Job Fest on August 13th at the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club. Jobs with good wages, benefits, and growth opportunities. Companies like ASM New Orleans, Dickey Brennan & Company, Hilton New Orleans Riverside, Audubon Nature Institute, and more are all hiring. Tuesday, August 13th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club. Learn more at neworleans.com/jobs.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Hello, I'm Gary Clark. Please tune in to Dr. Clark 101, The Living Classroom, which is broadcasted weekly every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. on WBOK 12:30 a.m. on your dial. And as always, it's been a pleasure.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 12:30 a.m.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. The number 504-582-9422. And my guest, who is a long-time friend,
Yes.
Miss Sinder, has been here for in the business of media for 2025.
25 plus.
Okay, we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, let's do that because
that's all that.
I don't look like that.
That's no, no, me neither. But give everybody the details of what you do, because the conversation piece that you have done for the last 20 minutes, I think has been like excellent. And I know my age category of who's listening.
Yes.
And I don't think that they realize she talking to you.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. I'm a geriatric care manager.
And that's not a bad word.
What's that?
Geriatric.
No, that's an amazing word. We're all going to need it if we're blessed to hang around for a few minutes. But I am a geriatric care manager by education, and by trade, certified. And when I say that, what I do is I go into homes. I work with families. I help them to develop care plans to help them be successful in their living. I can go into their homes and I can do walkthroughs and tell them, okay, if you're planning to age in place, this is what we need to do. These are the changes that we need to make.
Okay, now stop right there, because I want you to kind of break it down for somebody that didn't hear what you said earlier when you said it and you just repeated. Age in place. I don't want to go in a nursing home.
Correct.
I don't want to go and stay in, because we get a lot of our seniors who say, like, look, or our kids that say, I can't take care of you. I need to put you in a nursing home.
Correct.
But that elderly person is saying, I don't want to go in there. I want to stay in my home. That's called aging in place.
That's aging in place.
And you have that plan together.
I had the plan to do the assessment, you also have seniors who their children live out of town.
Mm-hmm.
They may live here alone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they need someone to go in to manage their care, manage their house, make sure that their medications are proper, that they making their doctor's appointments. That's another component of what I do. But for those families who decide that we can no longer give mom or dad the quality of care that they deserve because we have our lives, we're trying to exist,
Right.
then we may have to release them to I hate to call it facility, but a living center, let's
Right.
say that. So the other thing that one of the other components of my job is to find the best one for that family, because you don't want your mother going just anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So do assessments to make sure that the facility has what mom needs. Okay.
And then too, does that also include if you're doing okay and you are at home and you're doing the aging in place, maybe you don't have to go into a facility, but can I also say, how about if an agency comes to see you 2 or 3 times a week? I don't know how many times that is.
Absolutely.
I'm just using that as
It
an
depends,
example.
you're right. It depends on the level of care that's needed.
Mm-hmm.
So if family and mom decide that she's going to age in place. So the first goal is to make sure that home is appropriate for mom. Okay. Where is mom at cognitively?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want mom to be able to utilize the stove? If not, when I go in, I need to, I'm trained to do the assessment. We don't want mom turning on the stove or
Right.
cooking and
Right.
burn the house down.
Right.
So we have to put all of those little pieces in place to make sure that while she's in the home, that she has quality of care.
Mm-hmm.
Then then we have to bring in the aides, the assistants, those who can come in to give mom, help her with her activities of daily living, the bathing and the feeding, making sure she get her exercise and take her, her medication. So you can do if the family has money. If the family does not have money to pay an aide, then we have to look for other sources.
Right.
The state of Louisiana has what is called the community waiver, the adult community waiver, that for qualified individuals, they can get so many hours of care. So that's when you hear about the personal care attendant that can be paid for by the state waiver.
And can that be one of your relatives?
It can be one of your relatives if the relative, again, you have to, it falls under certain guidelines.
Right.
But yes, it
Right.
can. To answer your question,
right.
it can be a relative.
All right, you got a telephone call. What you say,
Sure.
Pop Jones?
Hey, G-Man.
What's going on?
And your guests.
Hello.
I had wanted to ask you a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
Me being an older person, I'm not the sharpest knife in a drawer, but I think my mind works pretty decently.
I don't know. I didn't hear some of them things you done said before, so that's all in question. Though I'm just playing.
I wanted to ask you about this dementia thing.
Yes, sir.
Is that something? A couple of questions I'd like to ask you. Does that something comes on you suddenly, slowly, or how does that usually come on you?
Yes, sir. I am not a doctor. Okay. My job is care management. However, from my experience, different individuals, everybody's uniquely different. It works different ways. Okay. Again, going back to lifestyle, going back to, something we have been saying in the past, if a relative has it, then you may have it, if your mom or dad has it. There are programs, sir, that will give that you can participate in that can show early signs of dementia. The possible early signs of dementia. If you're interested, I can get you that information and connect you with those providers that can give you a basic assessment test that will let you know where you are cognitively.
And you're a veteran, right?
Oh, I am. Yeah, I get really good care at the VA.
Okay.
Have you taken one of those? Don't they give cognitive tests at the VA? Have you asked for one?
Which one is that?
To make sure that the signs of what you're asking about now with dementia.
Well,
You forgot that
Your
question?
primary
always
care
tell-
doctor.
I'm a- Can I tell the truth on that one, G-Man?
Just keep that to yourself.
My
I don't need to
doctors,
know.
look, my doctors be telling me, Mr. Jones, you don't sound like you that old. I don't
Lord.
know.
Yeah. Well, your primary
But,
care doctor should be able to assist you with that.
do
Don't
they assist
let
me?
anybody tell you that you have it. You need to be tested. And you know, some things come with aging.
No, they never tell me that because I'm a person. I question the doctors all the time
Awesome. Yes, you should.
about whatever's going on with me, and I ask them, is there anything I could do to help myself,
Right.
other than just take the medicine and follow the instructions?
Right.
And I ask them respectfully,
Right.
can I help myself?
And you can, sir. You can do things. Reading is good. There are different exercises. And again, if you connect with me after the show, I'll be happy to share with you some of the, puzzles. And believe it or not, seniors love to color. Crayons and coloring books. All of those things help to stimulate the mind. And not only will I give you the information, but I can help you to get the resources that, you can have to, while you're at home, that you can work on making sure that you keep your cognition, aligned and not move over, because isolation is not good.
Now, Pop, but I got a couple of questions for you. And listen, one of
What's
the things
that?
I want to make sure that I say here, in all fairness, is I'm not trying to get your healthcare information or try to put that on the radio. So if you don't feel comfortable answering it, just tell me no, I don't want to answer it. But your wife, everywhere you go, I see you and your wife. Is she your caregiver, your caretaker, the person?
I would say so. Yeah, well, she's my right arm, left arm.
So wouldn't this
left
be
leg,
something?
right leg, but
this would be
mine
something to me
wise-
that she would be probably a little qualified. I don't know what the qualifications would be to
Right.
be his caregiver.
Absolutely.
more than qualified.
Yes. Have you guys? Do you have?
in
Are you
fact-
familiar with
in
the
fact,
community
if I
Hold on,
waiver?
Pop.
If I
Hold on,
could-
Pop. Hold on, Pop. Say again.
Yes. Are you aware of the Louisiana State Community Waiver, Adult Community Waiver for the aging population?
No, I don't deal with anything like that because
Okay.
all of my care comes from the VA. In fact, they tell her they give her permission to do anything for me. In fact, they offer health care to come to your house.
Right.
They can do everything for you. Me being a
Absolutely.
veteran, but
Right.
I don't need that.
Well,
Because
you may
I
not
have
need it.
her.
You may not need it, but your wife may need it. And so that's why I share with caregivers. That's why we teach our caregivers. You need assisted Metropolitan Human Services. They have all kinds of resources. It's not the resources are not out there for us, it's that we don't know that they're there. And that's what our nonprofit does. We partner with these resources and these organizations to make sure we get the information to our people. You may be fine, but your wife
Well,
can be
look,
overwhelmed.
can I address that?
Yes, sir.
The VA has offered me resources. They have had people come out and talk to me, but yet I did not receive it because the information that they offer me, I see social workers, I see different people that I can talk to at the VA. Say, I'll give you an example. Like he said, he didn't want to ask me. Okay, if I need assistance to get into the bathtub or stuff like that, me being a veteran, I've been given for my social worker different things to put into the bathroom that can assist me. So I think the help that you might be offering me, I can already get it from the VA.
I just want you to know, I'm telling your wife. You just told on yourself that you got a social worker coming there putting you in the tub. I'm telling your wife.
No, I do not. No, I don't think she don't want that.
I'm telling on you. I just
No,
want you to know right
I
now.
don't need that.
But listen, I want to make sure that you get everything that you get, and I know that. And I'm not trying to be funny, Pop, but I just gave Cindy your telephone number.
He gave me your number. I'm gonna call to check on you.
And I gave her the number to call you, so I want her to call you and just talk to you. Just talk to you a little bit about something that you may not know, and maybe she can help you out. And I mean, it's up to you. You might not want it. So,
absolutely.
I think that she has something here that you might be interested in.
And to encourage your wife to come out to our workshops.
Oh, okay.
Now they will show up. They will show up.
Oh yeah, and we want them to. It's not only is it informational, but it's
tell them when it is.
It's fun. The Saturday. It'll be this Saturday, the 14th at 10 o'clock at the West Bank Regional Library, 2751 Manhattan Boulevard.
And he on the West Bank.
You're on the West Bank.
I know where it is. I live on the West Bank.
Be there at 10 o'clock. We have food, we have fun, but most of all, we have some excellent presenters, and we have all kinds of resources.
This is the only library I know. It says on Manhattan.
That's it. That's
I
where
thought
we'll
the
be.
library was on. Is that the one I'm thinking about?
Yes, sir.
That's the one on Manhattan.
The large library. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be so glad you came. You're going to meet wonderful people and go back with wonderful resources.
What's the address he's asking?
2751. 2751.
2751.
Manhattan Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
And what time?
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock Saturday.
10 o'clock?
10 o'clock to 12:30.
Okay, I look forward to it.
Awesome.
All right, Pop, let me take these other calls.
I'm excited.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'll be looking for you.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right.
Hey, Miss Smith. Miss Smith?
Yes, I'm on. I'm sorry, I didn't.
That's all right.
Yes,
How you doing?
I want to know, the gentleman before gave the information on the who, what, when, and where. That's what I wanted to find out. I also wanted to find out how can we contact the lady that's on. I didn't get a correct name. I don't know if it's Lucinda or Lucinder. How can we contact her? And I'm interested in talking to her about doing a workshop on New Orleans side. I mean, I know the West Bank. I don't know where Manhattan. Maybe it's in New Orleans. Okay, I don't go on the West Bank. Anyway, I wanted to get her contact information to do something on our side of the bank.
So where do you want to do that, Miss Smith? What part of town?
Uptown. If you're familiar with, I know you're familiar. You live here. I'm talking about at the Ladder Library, maybe, or at a church.
Uptown. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get
a gauge.
An area uptown that you're talking about. So you have.
Okay, we're talking about you could do it at or in Gentilly. Gentilly is good. The Gentilly Branch Library is an excellent venue also.
It is. It's beautiful.
I mean, if you can't do it uptown, that's okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I can do it anywhere. I'm all over. New Orleans, Metairie, Baton Rouge. We go all over, but I'm very familiar with New Orleans, and I would be honored to set up a workshop for you.
Okay.
Absolutely. My name is Sinder, Sinder.
Sinder.
Cinder, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm Coleman Miller.
Miller.
And my direct cell number is 504-782-4629.
Wait, 504-782
504-782-4629.
29. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to call you and try to do something in the Gentilly area at that library, if you know where the Norman, that library out that way. In regards to the $10,000 grant for people who may need ramps or what have you, is that going to be at the West Bank function too?
Yes, ma'am. It will be there. We'll have the applications there, and we'll talk about it. There'll be a presentation on it, and we'll also, assist you if you need assistance with filling out the application. And it's really not a long application. They've made it very easy, the process.
Ms.
Yes,
Smith,
ma'am.
are you a caregiver?
I'm sorry?
I said, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I was
yes,
asking
yes.
a question. Are you a
You said
caregiver?
Sinder. Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to know also, this is my last question because I know other callers will want to come in. Where can you get the geriatric care manager certified license?
Well, actually, it's a part of my degree.
Uh-huh.
I have a bachelor's in health administration and long term
Okay.
care. So geriatric care management is a part of that degree. But I am certified. I'm certified through the state, actually, the state of Louisiana, as a long term care and geriatric care manager. But it is a part of my degree. I had to have the degree in order to get the certification.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you very much for giving me the
absolutely. I
information.
would love
Thank you.
talking with you more.
Okay, I'll call you real soon.
Okay,
Alrighty.
awesome.
All right, Miss
Okay.
Smith, thank you.
Bye.
All right, Miss Dorothy. Miss Dorothy?
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
You okay?
Hello.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
for
Go
calling.
ahead.
Okay. Hi. Thank you all for taking my call. My question is, in a lot of cases, when you think about doing renovation, especially to try to convert your bathroom, because I do want to stay in place, but is it income based? And that's the question. Is it income based to apply for the grant?
Yes, ma'am, it is. There is a criteria, of course, income. Anytime, the government gives you anything, they're going to look at your income. But
Okay.
usually they're
And
very generous from my experience, as it relates to the ceiling of what because I don't process and it's not my, piece. But I would encourage you to try. Wherever you are, I encourage you to try.
okay.
Miss
And,
Dorothy,
and
what you
so
trying
you
to get?
don't
You trying to
have
get
that.
big,
You
that
don't
big
have
tub?
that
What's the big
information
tub?
handy right now, where you can tell, like, if
Well,
you're a
Roland?
single person.
Say again. I'm sorry.
Okay. Does your guest have that information as to income for a single person?
They will have it Saturday. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, the person
Because,
who'll be
a lot
there.
of time you make a trip and then you find out that you don't qualify, and that's why I'm asking the question now.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I'll
Did you
hang
say
up
your name
and
is Miss
listen.
Dorothy?
Yes.
Miss Dorothy, can
And
she call you? Can Miss Cinder call you?
I mean, I can go out there, but I just hate to waste my time if it's income based. And I thought she may have had some information or a guideline to kind of give out to the public, so people won't be going out there and then find out that they don't qualify.
Right.
So,
What I'll be happy to do for you, Miss Dorothy, I'll be happy to give you a call to share with you the information that I have. But the person who is the specialist, who facilitates that program will be there on Saturday. But I certainly understand what you're saying, and I can give you a call with more information. Just not give it over the air, but I can make sure that you receive more information if you need to. However, I encourage you to come because it will not be a waste. It will not be a waste. We have so many
okay.
providers there, and you're just going to be glad that you came. It'll be a phenomenal event, I promise.
Well, I'll just take a chance and come and see how it goes.
And I'm going to be looking for you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All
All
right,
right, Miss
Miss
Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Thank you much.
Bye-bye.
Some real good questions.
Absolutely.
Some
Awesome.
real good questions.
Awesome.
Got
Perfect.
one online here. Deidre said, "Is there a stipend for caregiver who can receive for that caregiver can receive for taking care of a person?"
Mhm. We talked a little bit about that. The state waiver, state community adult waiver, they have a program for qualified individuals. But then also Orleans Parish, Orleans Council on Aging, and Jefferson Parish Council on Aging, they have what they call caregiver programs that will provide a certain amount of not necessarily money, but they give so many hours of caregiving, meaning that they'll send a caregiver into the home to relieve, to provide respite for that caregiver, which is valuable.
Now, Deborah Lucas is making some comments too, and I want to make sure that we clarify something too, because she's saying unless she's seen the laws have changed in the past few years, she said the paid caregiver cannot reside in a home.
Correct.
It cannot reside in the home with a family member.
Correct. That is correct.
Why
cannot
is that?
provide. I don't know. I think it's probably a way of preserving the program. You know, we have to put some guides on things and make sure that someone living in the home. I mean, if you're living in the home, you're probably going to be caring for them, your loved one anyway. So that's a great question.
Yeah. What you do. So how about if I just need somebody to come sit with my person every day?
We partner with personal care agencies. Okay. Personal care agencies that can send in certified nursing assistants or nursing assistants. Those are two different things depending on the level of care that's needed to come into the home. The ways of paying for those services, once again, is private pay, which a lot of times seniors, they have meager resources unless their families can pay, which is a whole nother conversation when we're talking about the families and the circle of care. I love that. Or private pay or the state waiver. Okay. Circle of care. Can I talk about that a little bit? That's so important. That's so important. I'll give you an example of my family. My mother had 3 children. She's with the Lord now, but 3 children. My brother and sister was in Indiana, and they were my sister was my mother's primary caregiver. I lived here. Okay. In order to make the plan work, when we realized that mom was going to need extensive care, my sister became the primary caregiver, meaning that she took care of mama's appointments. She took care of mama. She made sure everything was good with mama. My brother, who was there, he was married. You know, he did what he did. He may have run the errands, you know, or assisted my sister with taking her to the doctor. Okay, I'm here. I'm not present there. So I was the financial piece. But we developed a plan, a map, if you will, where everybody did something, where there wasn't overwhelm over on one person. Once a year or maybe twice, my mom would come here to stay a month or so, which would give my sister respite. So when you're talking about developing the plan for the family so that we can be successful, because truly mama needs or deserves to be honored and respected and a good lifestyle, even though she's declining. Okay, so we want to make sure that we do for her what she would do for herself if she could. So we're going to take the family and divide it up. What can you do? What can you do, Gerard? I can do the groceries. What can you do, Susie? I can do the laundry. Everybody do something.
So everybody got a task.
Everyone has a task. And then when it comes to bringing someone in to care for mom, do you have a budget? Do you have $25 a month? I have 50. We come together and put that money together, and then we can hire somebody that can give that primary care loved one a respite.
So what I'm hearing here, Sinder, is something that I think, especially us, we need to have these conversations more often.
Oh, yes.
Because a lot of us don't realize that no matter who you are, whether you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or even older, we all here on borrowed time. We're not going to be leaving out of here, you know, jumping in the casket talking about some mama. No. But before that time, and, you know, I'm hoping that I have a plan where somebody can come take care of me before I leave.
Absolutely.
You know, because I don't want to be just sitting there rotting away.
Having a plan now.
Yeah.
Life is lifing.
This is like life insurance. You need to have some type of life insurance.
Yeah, on the way home, something can happen. Caregiving does not mean that you're caring for an elderly person. It could be your son. It could be your daughter.
Something
could
happen.
Everybody should have a plan to know what's going to take place. It's better to be ready than to have to get ready.
Yeah. Give your number again.
504-782-4629. Again, 504-782-4629, and that's Sinder Coleman Miller.
Don't go nowhere, because I want you to talk about the events this weekend. Who you got? Who's going to be there? Because you also have a couple of things we didn't talk about, but we got about 10 more minutes here. If you want to get in on the conversation, though, if you got a question, now is the time to ask Sinder Miller what the question is right now. 504-582-9422. We'll be right back, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Hey, this is Steve Poston. Be sure to listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 5 p.m. Bringing you the best Southern Soul barroom music with the Southern Soul Weekend Party Mix. Hosted by me, of course. I'll be playing your favorite Southern Soul music by artists from all over the South right here on WBOK 1230 AM or online at WBOK1230.com. The station you listen to longer. Listen to longer. Listen to longer.
Join I Am New Orleans August 20th for the first ever Future Fest NOLA, a free festival-style experience for our city's youth. Hosted at Dillard University, Future Fest will feature action-centered workshops, panel discussions, and a resource hall to help you navigate and shape your future. Plus, live performances from D1, the Brassaholics, DJ Rod Smooth, and more. Register for Future Fest NOLA today at IamNewOrleansVoices.com. Designed for youth age 14 through 24. Food and transportation provided.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Sinder Miller in the building having conversation with us up until the top of the hour. Our number 504-582-9422. Let's go over what you got this weekend because this is important.
Oh, this weekend we're doing the caregivers, what we're calling the Savvy. I'm gonna get it together. The Savvy Caregivers Workshop. Mm-hmm. When we say Savvy is our new brand that comes under our nonprofit. Savvy means smart. It means intelligent. It means that you're vivacious. We're changing the mindset of caregivers. Mm-hmm. Okay. Normally when you think of caregivers, you think of drab, down and out, unhappy. No, we're changing the mindset. So it's a Savvy Caregivers Workshop 3. This is our third one. And our focus this week will be self-care. And we have some marvelous presenters. Pastor Tara Alexander. She's the pastor of Champion Church. And she's going to be talking about kingdom caregiving from a kingdom perspective. What does the word, oh, hallelujah. What does the word say about caregiving? What is the strength that we can get from doing it God's way, the word's way, and how we strengthen one another through the process? Because again, either we've been one, we're going to be one, or we're going to need one. So she's amazing. Then we have Charlene Hubbard, another powerful speaker. Charlene is a broker, a Medicare broker. We want to protect our seniors from these 800 numbers that pop up on your television, and during October and November, you keep getting these ridiculous calls where they keep changing your plan. Charlene is going to talk about that as well, and she's going to teach you about the different plans because the Medicare plans for 2025 are changing. You're not going to recognize them, so you're going to receive that information at the event. Then we have Dr. Kendra Andrus, nutrition. She is amazing, and she's going to talk about your health and about eating and about sleeping and about drinking water and how we can delay some of this dementia and chronic illnesses just by drinking water. It's amazing. It's amazing. So she's phenomenal. And then we're going to talk about beauty. Because we're caregivers, it don't mean we can't be fine and savvy.
Yes, indeed.
Dr. Beverly Smith, you guys may know her. She's going to be there, and she's going to talk about active aging. And then of course we've already said we're going to we'll have the USDA there with the $10,000 grants. We're going to have some providers there. We're going to have vendors there, and most of all, this is New Orleans. We're going to have food. Yeah. So it's in that 2.5 hour period. It's going to be amazing. And if you just want to come and stick your head in the door and you have to leave, that's okay. But just get what you can get while you're there.
And this is Saturday.
This is this Saturday.
At the
14th at the West Bank Regional Library.
On Manhattan.
2751 Manhattan Boulevard in Harvey.
From 10 until 1.
From 10 until 12:30.
10 until 12:30.
Yeah, but we may go over a little bit. Feel free to leave, but it's a lot of information. Yeah. You won't leave like you came.
All right, let's go to Los Angeles. What you say, Mr. Harrow?
Yes, Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Happy New Year.
I guess. Cinder, she sounds like she could be one of my favorite colored people.
Oh, Lord, here he goes flirting again. He gonna do it
sir.
again?
Why not?
He gonna do it again? Oh,
Does he say that to everybody?
oh, Lord, you have no idea.
I want to tell her I'm getting close to becoming a senior citizen. I'm only 87.
Oh, you got a ways to go.
Don't hype him up. Don't hype him up. Don't hype him up.
As a man thinketh, so is he. So you're good.
You don't have a clue on this one.
Now, one key thing she said is lifestyle. If you take care of yourself when you're young, as you get older, you should be okay. Now I'm allergic to doctors, and I have 6 nieces that are physicians. One emergency room physician, one OBGYN. I think that's the way you say it. But what I'm hearing is she's really good at what she does. Let me ask you, I'm in Los Angeles, and we have a house in Houston. Do you ever come to Houston?
Yes, sir. I have been there quite a few times.
Are you familiar with the Nixon Care facility?
No. Did you say Nixon?
Nixon.
No, sir,
Nixon.
I'm not.
Okay, they're friends. She's friends of ours. Okay. So she has daycare and staycare and all of that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And she's one of us. I didn't tell you that I'm kind of black. So anyway, and she is.
No, you ain't.
So life is good. Now let me just, when I called Gerod, I've been calling for years, and most of the time I'm just sitting here listening. And
on the beach,
the oldest Louisiana. My wife is from Louisiana, and years ago, and you got to be careful signing contracts. I signed a contract, and I didn't read the fine print, and we've been married going on 56 years, and in the contract it said that she could get on my nerves any time she chose to. So anyway. And when I signed the contract, Gerard was 2 years old. So I just thought I'd give you that information.
Yes, sir.
But the oldest one in our family, Louisiana, died at 114. Then we had one at 113. We had one here in Los Angeles, 106. Then we had a friend, she made 111.
Okay.
Went to the funeral home, made her own arrangements and whatnot. So life, and you are helping it to happen. Life should be good.
Yes, sir.
As long as you're here.
Yes,
and
sir.
I've been listening to you, and you're doing a good job of doing that.
Thank you so much.
I can meet you one day.
Yes, sir. Hopefully so.
Oh, Lord.
Gerard will connect us. Hopefully so.
Oh, Lord. There he goes.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
There you go again.
Yeah. And I'm not just, saying something, but I've been listening to you ever since you come on.
Thank you, sir.
A lot of people need help, and you in that business, and the key thing is lifestyle. And they say a lot of people are committing suicide, and our people, because they're disconnected from other people.
All right.
So,
well, Miss Harold, I got to go. I got to let her go. So
it's an honor to serve. Thank you for calling me, and thank you for the compliment.
Okay, you okay.
All right, player.
And Gerard is almost okay. All right.
I appreciate you, sir. Thanks for the call.
Bye. Bye.
Give the number one more time.
Yes, Sinder Coleman Miller, 504-782-4629.
And everything's happening this Saturday?
This Saturday at the West Bank Regional Library.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Come on out.
Come on out.
See the seminars.
You'll be glad you did.
Get you something to eat.
Yes, sir.
And come meet the folks.
Get you some information, change your life.
Always good to see you.
You too. I love you.
Love you too. All right, y'all. News is next. We got more coming up, y'all. Everybody hold time.
WBOK 1230 AM New The Reality Check, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The late Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee's daughter is entering the race to finish her mother's term. Erica Lee Carter, who is Black, announced her candidacy on Monday. Jackson Lee died last month after representing Texas' 18th congressional district since 1995. The Democratic Executive Committee serving the 18th district will select the party's nominee this month. A special election is scheduled for November 5th to determine who will finish out Jackson Lee's last term. An Ohio police officer is being charged for the murder of a Black woman and her unborn child. The Montgomery County Prosecutor's Office says the white officer fatally shot 21-year-old Takaya Young in her car outside a grocery store last August. Body cam footage shows Young start to accelerate after Blendon Township Police Officer Connor Grubb and another officer asked her to exit the car on suspicion of shoplifting. Grubb fired one shot into the window, killing Young. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to welcome all of our teachers, school leaders, students, and families back for the 24-25 school year. In addition, we want to send a big shout out to our education community for all of their hard work this past school year. Orleans Parish improved students' learning mastery plus by 2 percentage points since last school year. Also, New Orleans Public Schools grew 3 percentage points in the areas of English language arts and math in all grade levels. Let's continue to make more academic gains this school year.
Here we go. The Reality Check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. How do we put up with Ro Brown? How do we put up with Ro Brown? How do you? Is this every day? Is this every day with you, Jazz? With him? Is that what that is? Oh Lord! All right, 504-582-9422. I want to thank Sinder Miller for coming in and giving us all the details. Y'all make sure that you get